Hey everyone, so this month marks Mental Health Awareness Month and Mental Health Awareness Week here in the UK, and it's all about kindness matters, but it's not just about being kind to others, which you know I'm really passionate about if you see my latest vlog on how love letters pretty much saved my life recently, but also on being kind to ourselves. So I wanted to talk all about self-love. And if you watch this live or in the premiere, you can start to super chat with me when I go live, which basically means super chat is a new function. I'm quite digitally savvy and digitally inept, as I'm finding in lockdown, but basically super chat is where you get a highlighted comment or you can send stickers and stuff and help fund my YouTube channel, which means a lot to me. And so basically looking at self-love, I'd love to know any of your self-love tips. I try and make mental health as sexy as possible to talk about. So whilst I talk about the real side of mental health and mental illness, because I don't want you just to be bandied around by different thank you. Yeah, super chat is just basically because I'm super. That's what I need to tell myself. No, it's because you guys are super. So I get to be alerted that you've super chatted me. It's a new feature, which is cool. And yeah, so basically I wanted to talk about self-love because, hey, this is something I was going to message you all, by the way, to tell you when I was going live. But I've had one of those days where I've had my mum, she was in the garden, she's helped with some shopping and doing some yoga in my garden, and then I've been talking to my lovely neighbour, and then I've been, my lovely friend popped round, yeah, so I'm very lucky. Anyway, it's about self-love because, oh, thank you, you are super too. And actually, I was just talking with another friend about this earlier, Karen, because I was really poorly as a child. From about aged 11, as you may know, I had an eating disorder. I'm not going to go too dark on this vlog, but yeah, I had a long period of an eating disorder and self-harming. And to get to a point now where I wouldn't say I love myself yet, but I'm definitely on that journey. And whilst I found this lockdown really difficult, one of the things that I have taken from it is that because I'm on my own, I am only responsible for myself, which is quite scary. So at first I went back into old negative coping mechanisms. But now I've got myself a bit back on track, still not perfect, but I'm so much further along my journey than I was, if I'd in my early 20s, when I was really poorly with self-harming, I would just not have survived this period. So it's always good to reflect and be kind on ourselves, to think, whilst we might not be the finished product, we're never going to be the finished product, but always see how far you've come. Because I think you've got to give yourselves, everyone give yourselves a pat on the back. Let me know, comment with what you love about yourself, because often it's really hard, because all I'm getting from people, all my friends at the moment, because we're all on Zoom way too much and Skype or FaceTime, and we're going, I never knew I had a crooked smile, or like right now I'm talking to you, so I'm looking at you, not my face. But on Zoom, you can't help but constantly see your face, and I'm like, I'm so bored of this face. But you've just got to get used to it, and your voice and your face and everything. But never mind, I'm kind of used to it, but even I'm a bit zoomed out at the moment. But I wanted to share some self-love tips. Now, I was going to call it sexy self-love, and then people said they'll think it's like a sex talk or on masturbation, and I'm all for that as well. If you know how to do that, huge respect to you. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm just going to talk about the self-love tips that I know. I love my receding hairline, saves on shampoo. I like that positive way of thinking. That's good. There's nothing wrong with a receding hairline. And even I used to hate my smile because I used to hate my chubby cheeks. but everyone loves my smile. So I kind of think even when I talk about really serious stuff, I find myself smiling. So I have to kind of laugh at myself a lot because I can be talking about really serious stuff. And then I'm like, Sophie, why are you smiling? And it's just my natural facial disposition. So I've learned to enjoy it, not love it. You can ask anything in Super Chat. That's what I'm supposed to say, apparently. Ah, thank you. I'm eating cheese and grapes right now. Oh, go on you. Do you know what? I'm allergic to cheese. I am the worst vegetarian ever because I basically overdose. Well, I'm intolerant. Sorry to people with allergies. I overdosed on cheese during pregnancy. I had cheese and pickle sandwiches 24/7, and I've developed an intolerant. Can we ask belly things? You have to ask in Super Chat. And I developed an intolerance to cheese. But anyway, I digress. So, My Life in 37 Therapies, which is a book by Kay Hutchinson, she recommends keep everything slow and gentle in life. And it's true because it's the change of gear, isn't it, at the moment. I'm not very good at slow and I'm not very good at gentle, as you may have guessed. But I am learning to be a bit more patient. And one thing I've realised is I need to take more time out for people because I've just made a vlog on love languages the other day. I've not uploaded it yet because it's off to be edited. And I am a gift giver. That's how I show or I feed, or that's how I show that I care. I'm not a words of affirmation person when it comes to showing I care. It's gifts. Whereas at the moment, I'm learning to stop more and chat to people like more, because often I'm always like in a rush because I'm panicking. So yeah, I think that is an important thing. She also recommends releasing tension in the body. So I've actually been treating myself to do Qigong with Beyond Healing, and oh my gosh, it is so lovely. I'm still not great at slowness, but I don't know if you've ever tried Qigong. So it's all about it's like a slow martial art, but it's really, really graceful, but it's also really powerful. And I love all the visualizations. So we're doing one where you're protecting yourself. And so any negative energy, you're kind of protecting yourself and you're casting it away, which I really liked. Also, I don't know if you've heard of the 5 ways to well-being, and that's all about connecting with people, being active, like being mindful, so noticing the things around you, giving, and it's all those ways and actually it helps yourself. You actually feel good to be kind, and also to be kind on yourself. And this is somebody who I have hated myself, even in the past year. Last year, I hated myself. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I was. I hated my life. I hated myself for getting in another difficult, challenging situation. And again, what use is hating yourself? What use is that to anyone? And what I've realised, I need calm. Yeah, I know. I need calm. I'm not very good at calm. And one thing that I've realised is that's not useful for anyone. One, I've got kids, and if they see me constantly self-loathing and negative self-talk, that's not healthy for them. I noticed that they mimic a lot of the things that I do. So I was like over-analysing because I thought I'd put on weight, and I was over-analysing it in the mirror, and I could see them looking. So I was like, okay, that's got to stop. Because actually, kindness to ourselves is so important, because I always say we need to fill ourselves up so we can help others as well, not just yourself. Qigong, yeah, that's how you spell it, Qigong. But yeah, it's amazing. There's Tai Chi as well, but I've not tried that. But Qigong I've really loved. Yeah, Warwick Castle, sorry. Yeah, I've done like days out vlogs in the past and stuff. And unfortunately, obviously I'm not going on days out at the moment, but yeah, it's having that time out for yourself. And I've been doing that a lot with fitness at the moment, even just having like my Zumba friend doing her class. I actually turn off Zoom video because I've either got the kids here or I'm so bored of this space. But again, it's self-preservation. So that's why I've also made sure that I've done all my videos so I don't need to film anything on a Thursday and a Friday. So I can just have a day where I'm just not even thinking about video other than Zoom calls, unfortunately. But yeah, it's having those time for ourselves. And at the moment, we really need to try and preserve ourselves because we need that positive energy. Because now's the time where we really feel positive influences and negative influences. Oh, thank you. I wore this just to go to the shop. And yeah, because it's nice and sunny here. And I was like, it's nice sunny weather, and I was just in my gym kit all day. That's all I do at the moment, and I'm finding a love of shorts. I've never had a love for shorts. This lockdown, it has showcased me how comfortable shorts are. Anyway, I digress. But another one this week, actually, it's called Kindness Matters because kindness really matters, especially at the moment. But it was going to be focused on sleep. And Cam sent me their figures on sleep and how important it is about the stress sleep cycle and the impact on our mental health and well-being. And that's something that I know because I always think there's always aspects of our life that we can improve on because we're all on a journey. My sleeping pattern is awful, I'll admit. I used to be in a really good cycle of sleep because I take medication and that knocks me out, but I've only actually just taken my medication because I've been busy and running around doing things. And yeah, sleep has a massive impact. So I think I'm going to have a bit of a lie-in tomorrow. I'm going to do some exercise in the morning, but again, staying active, it's getting that balance all the time. When you have to take into account what's important to you. So right now, I really encourage you to vow to do something kind for yourself. And even if it's a bit like me, where you're like, I've got to look after myself so that I can look after more people or I can help more people. Because when I was a mess, even just a few weeks ago, from all the negativity I'd received, you are important to you. So true. I'm no help to anyone else then. And it is enough just to think to yourself, you are enough. And it's taking that time out. That's why I really believe in positive affirmations and changing negative self-talk into something positive. So that's why I set you a challenge in my last live vlog to have 24 hours or hopefully a lifetime of you're a help to me to make life better. Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you, Andrew. And yeah, it's having that like transformation. It's not like we're human, we're going to think negative things towards ourselves, but then we think, how helpful is that language towards ourselves? So me having this obsession with having chubby cheeks, what is that? How is that going to contribute to the world? All it's going to do is make me stand more and more hunched, or make me go offline and not be sharing my voice and sharing my story. It's not going to be helpful to anyone. So actually, self-love is so important. Self-care is not selfish. And I'm not saying you've got to all wake up and go, I love myself, although you do have to say that in the mirror. But you might not believe it at first, but you've got to keep saying it until you do. Thank you. But the daft thing is about our hang-ups about ourselves, or whether it's like features, physical features, or even the sound of our voice, or how we are, whatever it is. Yeah, we've all got things we could improve on. We've all got things that we need to deal with. But as long as each day we're progressing and we're challenging ourselves and we're a bit better than, we're a bit better than yesterday, then that's a positive. And you just think, well, actually, this period is quite a good time for self-discovery. It's a really challenging time, don't get me wrong. But for example, when I've had bad addictions, if I then go to myself, you idiot, easier said than done, how I try to show the same large amount of compassion to myself as I do others. Yeah, it is so true, Sharon. And one thing that I was told is, so do you know how they always say love thy neighbour? Actually, and love your neighbour as you love yourself. Love yourself as you love your neighbour, because often people, especially those of us who are sensitive or have mental health problems, we often love everyone else and we see ourselves as this awful problem. And I keep thinking, okay, would I talk to a friend like that? No. Would I talk to an employee like that? No. And you have to keep questioning yourself, why am I talking to myself like that? Because nobody, and I can tell you, there is nothing that makes you worthy of self-loathing, self-hatred, self-harm. There is nothing. And nothing good comes out of that. I know as a child, I thought I was protecting myself. Nobody could hurt me any more than I could hurt myself then, because they'd already hurt me, but I thought I'd protect myself for the future. And that's kind of, those behaviours has kind of continued on. But they have started to change for the better now. So I am really pleased that I've managed to. But again, with my addictive behaviours, if I ever slip back and then I go into a mindset of like, you idiot, why did you do that? Or why did you do that negative coping mechanism again? Or before, I'd have like whole weeks of awfulness. Whereas now it might be an hour or a day maximum. And then I can get myself out of it. And a good friend said to me, you've got to look at yourself and go, wow, you must have really been in pain then when you were doing that to yourself. And actually be kind. Think how you treat a friend. You wouldn't go, you idiot, why have you just... Well, some people might, the non-kind people. But we're on about kindness. And the kind friends would never berate you for self-loathing or like having addictions. They'd actually like help and support. And I'm so lucky that I've got such an amazing group of people that support me, and I'm grateful to all of you guys as well. Because you have to think, okay, so would you be like that if you're acting kind to a friend? Would you berate them for being so poorly in themselves that they thought it wasn't worth treating themselves well, that it was worth those behaviours? Real friends are there during the hard times. Yeah, so true, Andrew. And I love that quote where it's like, if you don't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. And I think that is so true, because it's easy to love someone, you know, when they're doing really well and they're all in the media. This is my story. Real friends wouldn't talk to you like that. So true. It's easy to like and admire somebody then, but actually what's really hard is when somebody's really struggling and they need that support. It's really hard then. Yeah, and it is that. So what I always say, people say there's no love like self-love. Like, I've found love in lots of different ways, and that is my big thing this year, is love. And within that, I mainly mean self-love this year, which sounds a bit selfish, but I think, well, I give out so much, especially to my kids and to people I care about. I share my story because I genuinely want to go, okay, I'm an open book. You will see in my book, Eat, Sleep, Control, Repeat, that is raw, warts and all, and stuff that I still feel, I shouldn't say ashamed, because I am getting through that feeling of shame, but stuff that I've never shared before of how ugly addictions can get. But the reason why I do it is because I need you to know that if you have those behaviors and addictions, that I cannot judge you, because we have all been to that absolute lowest low, but there is a way out, and there is always a future. There is, and there is always a future with sparkles and smiles. I'm not saying the future will always go like that at all, but there is always a way out. And I genuinely believe that. Like, I have to tell myself, this too shall pass. And you know my favourite quote, if you ever watch my vlogs, you haven't come this far just to come this far. And you have to think of all the battles you've overcome to how you've got to where you have got today. Self-love is the only one. We are all the same. And unless you self-love, how can you show love to others? That is so true. And I think, and the future with shimmies, yeah, don't forget the shimmies. You've got to always shimmy. Got to always shimmy it out. And actually, one thing that I'm really grateful for is because people have been so kind to me, that has actually helped me start to be kind to myself, because I think, oh, well, they think I'm worthy, so therefore maybe I am slightly worthy. And it's having those reminders. You kind of think, okay, rather than focus on the negative things people say. No, but there's sorry, somebody's chatting. There's some super chat as well, which is a new feature on YouTube. And somebody's just sent me a song, Worthy, on WhatsApp. I've just seen one of my friends. And yeah, there's always a way out, and there is always a future, and there is always somebody who will care. So if you're in a negative situation with negative people around you, that doesn't have to always be the world. You deserve better. And I've found that I've really got a good support network now. And it's really difficult because, like, the opposite to addiction, they say, is connection. And so that is really hard. As we're recording this, we're locked down. Thank you. As we're recording this, we're in lockdown, and connection is hard, and it's all unknown. This whole era for us all, there's lots of people in much worse situations than me, but it can trigger addictions. And now's the time to, like, take stock and try and restore ourselves, keep ourselves as safe as possible, and really take that, like, be protective of ourselves so that we can give love. I always say you've got to fill up your cup, and then you can love outwards more. Whereas I always loved out and then just constantly got depleted. And even now I do it. Do you know, like, if I've got work on, I'll always get other people's work done before my own. But I have started to, like, be a bit more, okay, this is my priority because the kids need that, or I need that. And actually, if I'm going to do that bit of work and it means that it's another hour of not sleeping, or if I'm going to do something that takes another hour out of my sleep, thank you. Okay, we're talking about self-love at the moment. And yeah, it's doing those things that are kind to yourself. So have a think of all the things that you could do to practice some self-love, because at first, this is where self-care is really important. At first, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel natural. Self-love, it's hard, especially somebody like me, to jump from being like such self-loathingness, if that's a word, to self-love. Whereas self-care, that's why self-care practices, I believe, are so important, because they help fill you up so that you feel that you can love yourself because you've been kind to yourself, and that does help you to be kind to others. So I'm so grateful for my friends who've just lifted me out of a really dark place, and my family and supporters and community on here, because now I'm filled and I've started to fill myself back up, that I can give again and I can try and share some kindness. I'm still a bit like, you feel, I think at the moment everyone's a bit kind of like this unknown period. But again, it's not going, oh, you idiot, Sophie, which I'd normally do. I'd go, you idiot, you've caused that, or you've done this. If you don't love yourself, you can't love and help others. Yeah, no, that is true. And I think you can love and help others to an extent, but you get to a point where you're so physically depleted, mentally, emotionally, you're exhausted. And I get to that point sometimes, I think. And then there's another quote, quote queen, and like, my friend shared it, and it's like, takers don't have any limit on how much they take, whereas there's only a limit how much you can keep on giving. And because, oh, thank you for the heart. Yeah, there's only a limit on how much you can keep on giving, but takers will just continue to take. And I find myself like, now I have to have a bit of a shield, and I've only like, I lost my shield for a bit of this, hello, I lost my shield for a bit of this period, but at the moment, like, I'm learning to kind of have my shield up again, just because it's like, we've got to all get ourselves through this really difficult period and be as kind to others as we can. And like, for me, it's important to keep showing up for my work, because I do such a range of work, in mental health, dancing, different things. Because for me, it's important, one, to help the people that I'm working with, two, to support my kids so that I can get us through this period. And it's all those things that are really, really vital. So I'd love, have you been dancing long? Yes, since I was 14. So again, I'm like all or nothing with everything. And that's where, like, with my work at the moment, I know I can be a workaholic because that's like my focus, and then I can go into this, like, where at the moment I'm not allowing enough time to sleep. And as I've just said, the whole stress sleep cycle matters, because sleep has such a massive impact on your mental health, as well as what you eat. So about 6 years, yeah, just 6 years dancing since I was 14. Yeah, add a decade and a bit. How old am I now? 32 now? I turned 32 in lockdown. Yeah, that was a let's say a memorable birthday. Next year's going to be much better. Next year is the year, best year yet. Although, didn't we all say that about 2020? All that goal setting for 2020, it's got a good ring to it, 2020. But never mind. At least sometimes I think, and I look at my life from last year, and I kind of think, I'm kind of glad that I didn't know everything that was about to happen, because literally overnight everything just went and I'm kind of glad that I did not know. Let's sing songs. Yeah, yeah, tell me about it. Sing songs, you do not want me to sing songs. Self-love is also knowing my strengths. Vlogging, I love. Writing, I do love, but when I'm struggling, I struggle to sit down as much. So I know that I like to keep busy, but that's because I know that's my way of coping. And it's funny because people keep saying, like, just slow down, and I've slowed down in certain areas of my life, but then I also know, like, for example, meditation is the worst thing for me. It brings back a lot of trauma, and it just is too much for me to take at the moment. Rock and roll. Yeah, it's too much for me to take at the moment. So it's getting the pace that is right for you. So for me, so somebody else slowing down might be like Like when mum was doing yoga in my garden early, she can just lie down and be still, which I really admire. Whereas my birthday ends in a naught this year. Oh, don't worry. If you've had a birthday in lockdown, we're all celebrating it big style when this is over. So don't worry. We'll all postpone it for this huge worldwide global birthday party. It'll be amazing. So, but for me, slowing down is literally just taking the pace slightly slower, which I am at the moment. I've actually had time to think about different bits of my work, whereas normally I'm reacting. But even then, I know I could be a little bit slower, but I'm not ready to go from that to that, because actually then I'll crash. And actually at the moment it's self-preservation. You've got to kind of keep on at your own pace that's comfortable to you. And I'd love to know what's self-love to you guys who are currently watching, or if you're watching this back, hopefully you can still comment, or you can chat to me on social at Mama May blog. But I'd love you to do something. You always see life to be positive. Yeah, I try to have a giggle, and I think that's where I miss. Can we call you Sophie or Mama May? You can call me whatever. My kids call me Mama, so that's why I'm Mama May, because my Chinese name's Mei Lan, which means beautiful orchid. So I'd love to know what your self-love practices or self-care things that you're going to do. I know that I'm really enjoying dancing again at the moment. So often when you're performing, you're giving out self-love, eating pancakes with no guilt. Go on, Steve. Yes, that sounds good. You give out a lot when you perform, whereas now, oh, thank you. And big cup of coffee before bed. I know, tell me about it, it's naughty. And it's not even decaf, and I've literally just got some decaf coffee, and although it's not filter coffee, so I'm slowly, this is where I'm bad, because when I get advice, I get it really bad if I get, so yeah, caffeine at the moment is, you find coffee gross. Oh my gosh, I wish I did. I'm like, I've got so many like herbal teas, and I used to love them. And at the moment, I'm just surviving off coffee. Like, that's just, oh well. That's my self-care at the moment, is just, I need some vices, guys. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not going out. I'm not dancing till late. Well, I am dancing till late. But again, things like, so it's funny. So I was like, I'll never go on TikTok properly. It's just silly and fun. But actually at the moment, oh, I've missed that comment. Something about gravy. It's probably this that looks like, because it's like a pint. But even TikTok I quite like. I really like it at the moment because it's just fun. And sometimes I only had coffee covered in chocolate. Oh. But yeah, so I find TikTok bad. Oh, see, I love it because it's the one place where it's just for fun. And at the moment, I just love that because there's like just spoofs and silly things. And at the moment, you just need that bit. Well, I do anyway. That's my personal. I like that escapism, that just like bit of trivial fun, where it's not too serious. And yeah, I'm quite enjoying that at the moment. And it's allowing yourself those silly little vices or those things. So for some people, it's to have a chat on the phone. I am the worst person on the phone. Give me a live vlog, fine. Phone, FaceTime, Zoom, it takes me so much energy. But again, I've tried to reduce everything to Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays maximum in terms of phones. I've not managed totally to do that because I've still got Zoom calls. But again, because that's my self-preservation, because I know I get so much anxiety in a build-up to a phone call that even if it doesn't happen, I've had that anxiety and I've had to build up for it. So I've tried to cram that all into a few days so then I can be like, oh, the weekend, I can actually have a break. Whereas before I was just constantly on the phone. And on a weekend, I'm trying now, not to do hardly any phone calls. Granted, family keep booking in parties and stuff, but I'll have to just allow that at the moment because I also don't want to be totally disconnected. But yeah, it's just allowing yourself, like, using this time where it is slightly slower to try and learn about what makes you tick. Obviously we want to and obviously you want to comment, you want to look at like what like you need to do, and you want to challenge yourself each day because we always want to be better. We can always be better. I always reflect on myself every day, but rather than beat myself up as I normally do, I'm starting to be like, okay, so you did that wrong today, or you could have done more that, not wrong, you could have done that better. So you can amend that slightly tomorrow. We're never going to be the perfect product, but that's life. It's a journey, isn't it? Anyway, I just wanted to sprinkle some kindness and self-love onto you all because you are worthy. Kindness really does matter to yourself and to others, and kindness is not just for a Be Kind month a few months ago or this week or this month. Kindness needs to continue, and I really want to encourage you to be kind to yourself and to be kind to others. Thank you. I don't feel very kind. I try to be, but we're on a journey, and I'm lucky that I've got amazing people around me and I can chat to good people, and that inspires me to be kind. Thank you. And I do hope to like open my heart to you all, to show you the ugly side of things as well, to show us the ugly side of things as well when it comes to struggling with your mental health, because I don't want you to feel like I'm always the don't always look at the rain. So true. But you can look at all the positives and look at the rainbow. There's always a rainbow, and the sun is always shining, even when it doesn't feel like it. At the moment, it genuinely is shining. It's lovely, but it doesn't always feel like it. But there is always sun, and the world is always going around, and there's always humans, and there's always a reason to love yourself. So please find that reason to love yourself and think of something that you love about yourself. Even better, tag me at Mama May Blog and tell me what you love about yourself. So yeah, keep positive, keep being kind, and sending you so much peace, a lot of kindness, lots of love, and of course you've got to shimmy it out, sending you so many shimmies. And please do like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you click on your notification bell because I do go live at random times. So yeah, it'll alert you going, Mama May is live, and you'll hear me live. And also, as you know, I do my workouts, my dance fitness on my Belly Dancer channel, and Belly Dancer Sophie. So take care, and thank you so much for joining me. Whenever you're watching this live or afterwards, please do comment. It does mean a lot, and be nice, be kind. Remember, be kind. This is kindness matters. And tag me on social media at Mama May Blog. So I'm gonna do it. Peace, love, and shimmies. Bye.